Alright, if you're watching this, that means you're learning how to use the automated audio on the tractor ride. We call it RideCue. The first step is you want to make sure you're in the on position. You'll see there. When it's turned on, inside the cab, you'll actually see the box light up. There'll be a green and a red light if it's muted. So it's as simple as that to turn on. You don't have to be concerned about leaving this on during the day. At the end of the day, definitely turn it off before going home. That is important. Okay, so now we're in the tractor cab. We got a RideCue operator box. I'll kind of explain some of the functions. First thing before you go on a ride, you want to make sure this green light's on. If you don't have a green light on, then none of the audio is going to work. Next, we do have a wireless, or not a wireless, but a wired headset. We usually store it around this monitor speaker here when not in use. So if you're going to do a ride and you're going to be doing the talking, you're going to be the personality, what you want to do is make sure that this selector switch is in the manual position, okay? So when it's in auto, that means as the tractor ride is driving along, it's passing these different tags along the route, and it's automatically going to play the audio files based off where it is in the ride, as well as this program selector switch, okay? We'll get to that in a second. So if I'm going to be doing the talking, I'll put it right to manual, and basically put the headset on my mouth or my head, and then I'm going to talk. But before I talk, I got to make sure I'm not muted, okay? So when I'm not muted, now you can hear I'm talking. It's going through the monitor mic here, or speaker here. So I'm talking now, it's coming through the speaker here, and it's actually coming through the speakers on the wagon ride as well. So when you hear it come through the speaker, it's a good sign that it's also making the sound on the ride. Now we do have a volume adjustment, and this volume adjustment knob here, it does the whole wagon. So it's not just the speaker in here, it's actually the ride as well. So when you're cranked up the max, that's a good position to be in when you're in manual mode or you're speaking. But when we're running in auto, I like to have it around here or maybe here, but never fully max. So when we're in auto mode, you can still talk. You can talk over top of the recording. It will allow it. So if you unmute this, now that microphone is working. As you can see, I am talking and it's coming through the speaker. Okay? So when you're in auto, both the RFID tags and you are live. You're talking at the same time, as long as this mute is unmuted. When you're in standby mode, the middle position, we basically gave this as a way to save power. Let's say you don't want to turn off the big box, but you want to put the amp in standby mode, which saves a little bit of power. You put it to standby and it will. Now keep in mind, when you get going on a ride, if you take it out of standby and put it into manual or auto, the amp does take about 8 to 30 seconds to power on. So the microphone and the audio will not play for about 30 seconds from exiting the standby mode. Something to keep in mind. Okay, one other thing to mention. I have this RFID tag number 020, which is 20. I keep this in the cab because what this allows, again, as long as you're in auto, it allows you to test the volume of the wagon ride. You basically go out, and I'll show you. You wave in front of the RFID reader, and it will play the music if everything's working correctly. Alright, so this is the RFID reader on the wagon ride. So you got the solar panels on both sides. Again, this is the RFID reader. So I have my tag right here. Oh, look at that. It already read it. And now I'm going to check and make sure a sound comes out of all my speakers. Sounding good. So everything sounds really good, which is awesome. Now, what you could do is you could wave this tag while the wagon ride's loading and then let some music play while everyone's getting loaded up. Now, I would have the volume down a little bit lower, but yeah, that might be a nice little feature for people, is having the music play while they board the wagon ride. When you get going and you have an auto, the first tag will interrupt the audio. So you don't have to worry about music being running while you're going. It will all work out. Alright, so we're going to get started on our wagon ride here. Now what I'm going to do as I drive along, I know I keep saying we're going to go and we don't, but I'm going to kind of hug the edge of the path a little bit, okay? I'm going to put it forward. It's like I'm new to this. So first tag's coming up. It's going to play everything automatically. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome aboard Chlormead Airlines Flight CM101 with non-stop service to the far side of the farm. And you want to keep it about 4.2 kilometers an hour.
Captain whoever happens to be driving the tractor
pretty good
will be
speed.
handling all flight operations while I provide commentary from the comfort of the studio. As we departure, please remain seated throughout the flight. Keep your hands, feet, and personal belongings inside the aircraft at all times. In the unlikely event of turbulence, also known as a bump of the field, please remain calm and remember that our captain has over 17 minutes of flight experience. Thank you for choosing Kilometer Airlines. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the...
So yeah, you want to hug the left corner, not be in the grass, but just on the edge. That way the tractor RFID reader is close to the tags. And there's one hiding in the grass here. I think we're coming up to it.
Okay. On the left-hand side of the aircraft, if you look out your window again, you'll notice an area of tall grass and natural vegetation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the final turn of today's flight. Please prepare yourselves for one last thrilling bank and maneuver. After successfully completing this corner, Captain Tractor Operator will begin final approach procedures toward the Cloverview Terminal.
You should see a light up crossing.
If you look out the left-hand windows one last time, you'll see the white tent that hosts our wonderful World of Bee show. The show runs Monday through Saturday during July and August, and it is a great place to learn all about honeybees from one of our beekeepers.
And that's the end of the ride.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our destination. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the imaginary seatbelt sign is turned off. On behalf of Captain Tractor Operator, myself, and the entire Kilometer Airlines team, thank you again for flying with us today, and have a wonderful day.
That's it, all there is to it. And then we just play some music as they get off, which is nice. And actually what I forgot to do was turn off that crossing guard, but again, you want to unclick it kind of when you get around here.